The Wisdom Table is a workshop to develop the talents and skills of senior citizens whom many people consider, quote, they can't do anything except cook and take care of babies. So we're doing just the opposite. We're going the intellectual realm, and the Wisdom Table is a result of an effort on the part of Brother Doug, Brother Stu, Sister Boles, and the Wisdom Table participants themselves. I'm Brother Leroy, thankful to the Most High for blessing us with the opportunity to serve not only the Wisdom Table participants, but also the general public. Our guest online is a wonderful lady, a wonderful teacher, a wonderful doctor, scientist. She's in Louisiana, and her name is Dr. Velve Boles. Welcome to the Wisdom Table. Can you hear me, Dr. Velve?
Thank you, Brother Leroy. How are you? Hello, everybody else at the Wisdom Table.
Good afternoon. How are you?
We got.
Good to hear all your voices.
Hey, listen, they coming in, they running in. They heard the Velve Boles vibration up the block. They said, "Wait a minute, we gonna get some knowledge up in here today." So, here's what we're starting with, and the participants definitely will have questions regarding this, but also they'll have the opportunity to ask other questions relating to other situations. The first thing is this: there has been a wealth of overdoses in the New York City area and Brooklyn and in other parts of the country as a result of using a synthetic marijuana called spice, or K2. It just so happens that the James Weldon Johnson houses is located in East Harlem Community Radio. And this is where street sources have told me Spice K2 was first marketed in the so-called Yemenite bodegas along the Lexington Avenue corridor, and just so happens in the same area that the James Weldon Johnson houses are in. So that's why we are going first with that particular subject, because if they haven't seen the results of this, they can at least get the information and pass it on to the youngsters and their families and neighborhoods. So tell us what your understanding is of synthetic marijuana, whether it's K2, spice, or whatever.
Certainly. First thing we need to know is that synthetic marijuana is synthesized in a lab as a liquid. Then it is sprayed onto shredded herbal life. Sometimes it can be sweetgrass, sometimes it can be lemongrass, but the chemical that gives the effect is synthesized in the laboratory, then sprayed onto this grass or natural organic substance, and that's how it's sold. So it is an intentionally created chemical to mimic the active ingredient in marijuana, which is most of us know as THC. We also call it the cannabis factor. The danger is the chemical that is synthesized and sprayed onto this grass matrix to be smoked is intentionally targeting the receptors in the brain that organize and transmit higher thought functions. And therein lies your problem. If you alter these nerve cells, or worse, kill these nerve cells, then your ability to have clear judgment, make decisions, learn new material is very compromised and sometimes lost altogether.
What are that's phase one of your answer. I'm going back into it, but what is the effect on other systems in the body, kidneys, liver, etc.?
Wow. Well, because it is a synthetic compound, the concentration of the agent that we'll say, when you feel high, it's the jargon of the young person, what you're really doing is introducing a factor in the brain that is not normally there. once that neurotransmitter is the terminology, it has to be cleared. So clearing anything from the brain means it goes through your spinal fluid, eventually can get into the lymph system, and ultimately you will either urinate or have a bowel movement to relieve it. Well, everywhere the fluids of your body, your lymph system, the circulating blood, wherever it passes, it is taking either the product or breakdown product and delivering it there. In other words, you may smoke this synthetic compound and the brain gets its immediate effect, but before the 24 hours is over, you have already circulated byproducts of that compound through your liver, through your spleen, possibly the lungs, and the kidneys. Because the kidneys must be the hardest working organs to excrete, urinate it out. And the liver is definitely the most metabolically active organ in your body. But not just looking at and it's hitting your lung and brain, it is also toxifying the liver and the kidney.
It poisons the liver and the kidney.
Yes. Okay,
and so what? You know, I've been smoking this stuff for the last 4 years. So what? I think I'm normal.
Well, the body is so resilient. And of the organs in your body that is so resilient, number one would be your kidney. You have to kill between 85 and 90% of your kidney before you need dialysis. Wow. The bad news is when you need dialysis, it's non-reversible. Yeah. The liver is really your marine. It's the first organ that interacts with foreign matter, and it will sacrifice itself. It will first get fatty and try to protect itself by storing fat to dilute the toxins, and then it becomes cirrhotic. And those of you who had liver cirrhosis, we used to think of alcoholism, but now liver cirrhosis is occurring from all kinds of pharmaceutical medications, unfortunately some fast food, and definitely from recreational drug use. So you may not know you're killing yourself, and when it happens, it'll be like a light bulb blows. You may feel fine and never wake up the next day.
Going back to the impact on the brain, I need you, the common media talks about they look like zombies. What is happening in the individual? What's going on?
Well, I will talk to my ladies now. There are many parts of the brain, as all of you are sure. The one that we're most talking about today, when you talk about synthetic marijuana, is called the cerebral cortex. Another way of thinking of it is your higher thinking. Your cerebral cortex is what distinguishes a man from, let's say, a mouse. That if you see a problem as a human, your cerebral cortex can synthesize or create a solution to a problem it had never seen. Let me say that again. You're able to deduce, you're able to project, we call it, you can think about it. And you can come up with a solution to a problem you've never seen before. That's the cerebral cortex job. When you take these mind-altering drugs, and particularly synthetic marijuana, that's where it acts. It slows down, and too often it will tie up, meaning that you can't have clear thoughts. You're in a fog. You can't see a solution. You can't reason. You have poor judgment. And for the lucky few, that lasts maybe 24 to 48 hours. And we talk about having a hangover with a headache, or feeling foggy, or you just haven't gotten yourself back. Those are the lucky ones. Unfortunately, genetically, there are some of us who really like that feeling. Just like you like chocolate candy, or you desire a certain flavor, there are those who will crave that sensation. That's a genetic tendency. If you are one of those who can take the drug, enjoy the drug, come back in 2 or 3 days, that's an unaddicted person. They can say, okay, I enjoyed that, I sowed some wild oats. But if you're genetically set up that when you take this chemical, it alters the cerebral cortex of your brain. you can be forever dim-witted. A lot of people talk about he was such a smart child and he got into drugs. Now look at it, walking on the street, talking to himself. Well, that would have been a person, a victim of having their cerebral cortex nerve cells permanently altered by whatever the drug was that they were taking.
Okay, so having a overview of this drug, it's synthetic. The chemical is sprayed on the herbal leaves, whatever.
It's grass. It's usually fruit grass or lemongrass. It's an organic matter that they're trying to mimic the look of marijuana, but the thing to keep in mind is it is intentionally created. This is not an act of nature.
Right. The it's targeted to the cerebral cortex.
Yes.
The end result can be the extreme that we hear about, people falling out in the street, just standing numb, zombie-like.
Foaming at the mouth.
Yes.
Foaming at the mouth. So here's a group of individuals who say, hey man, that's another form of chemical warfare against black people, Puerto Ricans, and poor whites or adventurous whites who come on to this. How valid is that kind of charge?
I think that's 100%. The targeted group is a form of genocide, in my opinion. They are targeting a group that has already, unfortunately, been labeled as either slow or dim-witted or unable to do the same type of high-order thinking. I mean, look at how surprised people are when you get a black quarterback on the NFL. They act as if the person who calls the shot can't be black, because black people can't think. And with that pervasive type of mentality, when someone comes in and literally gets your young people using these mind-altering drugs, they're effectively creating a reality out of their prejudice.
Questions from the panel. We have the wisdom table is filling up, and this is a subject matter that relates to youngsters' target group in the neighborhood. They may know of youngsters, they may know of victims, etc. So you're free to ask questions, identify yourself.
Okay, hi, how are you? I'm Eva. Is that Miss Boles?
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Boles, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
We missed you a lot. I couldn't wait to get back here.
Talk about you a lot. I tell people I'm getting smarter every time I come on the Brother Leroy show.
And we learn stuff every time we come here. We learn something different. So my question is to you. You spoke about they sprayed the lemongrass.
Yes.
Okay. Where I would like to know, where did this K2 begin at? Did it just
Go ahead, I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you saying? Where did it begin?
Yeah, where did this where did it start here in the United States, or it started someplace in Europe or Asia or wherever?
Well, I think I can't pinpoint a place. I think it kind of did it simultaneously. To answer your question correctly, it started in somebody's mind. Now, just like I can tell you about the chemicals, if I had bad intent, let's say that I was driven to make a whole lot of money.
Okay.
I could probably sit down and write a formula that would allow someone to make up a solution and can spray it onto a product and get this effect. So where does it start? It starts in the mind of someone who's driven to make money.
Okay.
It also may be in the mind of someone who's driven to create hardship, that they actually intend. It's like chemical warfare. They intend to cause harm among a certain group of people. So I think it's very intentional. That is not an accident.
Questions? The so what happens with this? It's it neutralizes a whole segment of people in terms of thinking, because if we are to think our way around the barriers that have been set up for us in this system, we have to think our way around that. We have to reason. So in targeting the cerebral cortex, you prevent reasoning. You lower the threshold. You raise the threshold for reasoning. Which one am I trying to say, Doc?
Well, actually, I hear your struggle, and I can tell you why it's difficult. It is a double-sided sword. Let's start, if I take a step back, if you go to any person who is already either depressed or angry or sad or have a desire to escape his or her reality, then you have a target population to introduce something telling them this will make you forget your trouble. This will make you feel good. So, if you look at the black population, if we just talk about the situation that you described there in New York, you probably have some angry young people. You have some disillusioned young people. There are some who feel like they're trapped. Well, that would be an excellent target to go and say, here, try this. This will let you feel good. This will get you high. This will get you out of your misery. But the person who is selling the product know that the very same group of people that they want to create a disability in. They want this person to remain dim-witted. They want this person not to be able to figure a solution to what is the real problem causing their depression. So it's a double-sided sword. It is difficult to put your finger on the chicken or the egg. If the group of people they're targeting were less hopeless, that were more joyous, that had good jobs, they would be less likely to be willing to try something to escape their everyday humdrum life.
Okay, Doc, talk about the possible impact on the egg in the woman and the seed in the male.
Wow. Now that one had been going back and forth, but we talked about whenever the body clears the brain, and what we call it washing the brain. When you go to sleep at night, your brain gets replenished because the cerebral spine fluid literally washes the brain. It restores places and it lets the brain cells renew connections. Well, a person who has taken any kind of chemical, but today's topic is synthetic marijuana, during the clearing process, as I mentioned, the products are circulating. And among the circulation would include the female's ovaries, because the lymph fluid would circulate there. It would affect the male's testes, because that's his hormonal production center. So anything that's taken recreationally, like synthetic marijuana, will have byproducts passing through and sometimes directly interfering with the natural processes for ovarian and testicular function. Meaning a man's sperm may be deformed or he may not produce adequate amount, and it means the female egg may not be produced normally, may be retained in the tube, and other complications arising.
So it's a when you take this stuff in, it's total in terms of you're poisoning your body. It just so happens that one system may demonstrate quicker than the other, like the zombie-like situation. Real quick, have any questions? Sister Jenkins.
This new product they putting out is stronger than cocaine?
Well, it's not that new, but to answer your question, it affects a different part of the brain. Cocaine can affect what we call the dopaminergic system, which is just a particular neurotransmitter in the body. The synthetic marijuana attacks more specifically, the cerebral cortex nerves themselves. If the nerves are injured, that's when you're kind of foggy. If the nerves are destroyed, it's just like having a stroke.
Yeah.
You may or may not regenerate those nerves.
So as it's saying, they're trying to kill half of the world, a crazy one. Who don't have
Well,
sense
they're
enough.
certainly trying to make them crazy.
Yeah, well, if they take enough of it, it will kill them.
Well, see, here's where they get protected. The synthetic compound is not looked upon as a drug. And they often spray it on a grass, like I said, sweetgrass or lemongrass, and those are not illegal compounds. Then they put it in a real shiny package, and they will call it stuff like incense, or they will say not for human consumption. But on the street, teenagers will talk to each other, college buddies will talk to each other, and they'll say, oh, this is a cheaper form of marijuana.
Yeah.
Just go into your gas station, your 24-hour gas station, and you can buy it cheap.
Yeah.
So just recently, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms have begun to list synthetic marijuana as a health hazard, but I don't think they've stamped it as a drug offense.
Dr.
So as long as people think it's legal, they think it's okay.
Yeah.
Why would it be on the market if it wasn't legal?
That's
That's the rationale. I'm going to call you from another phone because mine is running down, and
Okay.
I want you to go. I'm calling you right now. I'm hanging up mine, calling you right now.